welcome back to what will be probably the last winter garden tour of this season. It is February 20th today, and it is a month till spring, and here in Florida we get the spring garden going much earlier than other places. So the garden is in quite a bit of transition right now. We have things going out and things getting ready, and so I just wanted to show you around. It'll probably be the last garden tour that I also do here, as if you are new here and haven't been following along with my vlogs and videos, I am actually moving, and so we have been getting another garden plot prepared. And so while I have some things growing here that I have planted, I will probably not be investing any further time in planting things here. I want it to still look good and pretty when we set it up on the market for selling, so I do want some stuff growing, but I'm going to be taking the trellises and taking other things, and eventually hopefully moving a lot of my herbs and perennial plants that are in these beds over. So I have been kind of lots of transitions basically. So let me show you around and show you what's been going on. So also, before we get started, I do want to say that here in North Florida where I am located, we do have the privilege of being able to grow outside year-round. It has been more colder year than usual. We also just recently got massive amounts of rain. That's why I haven't posted a video in a little bit, because I have not been able to record because it has been raining every day. All the snowstorms that hit the south kind of just made for a bunch of rain here. And I am extremely fortunate that it was just rain and not the snowstorms that have been affecting everyone else. My heart really is going out for Texas right now. It's such a hard thing to go through. So yeah, anyways, let's get going. So I'll just start by saying that all the things that you see growing here have pretty much been growing all winter. Some have been popping up a little bit as it's gotten warmer these last few months. Like you'll see, we have a lot of little Johnny jump ups, which I just absolutely love. They're so good for your heart. They're just so pretty. So they're good to add to like salads. So I'm going to be harvesting a lot of these. I like to use them for tea. So in herbalism, violets are very good for, and violas, Johnny jump ups, which are in that family, are very good cooling herbs. They're very moist, so they're very good for the heart and kind of like lung issues. They're just very good for cooling hot body temperatures. So if you have like a bunch of excess heat in your body, they're really good for that. So I tend to be more on the fiery side. That is like my personality. I'm kind of, even though I'm introverted, I'm just a bit of a fiery person. So they're really good for me in cooling a lot of heat, which I tend to have issues with. So I also have some bolting cilantro, which I will get coriander seeds from. And I also have some borage right here, which is just getting so huge. It's kind of on top of this strawberry patch, so I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to come through, but borage is really good. Their flowers taste kind of like cucumbers. They're really known for courage. And like in the medieval times, the Celts used to embroider like borage flowers on the mantles and stuff of knights and jousters, I believe. And so I think that's really cool. So they're really, really known for courage. They used to like drink borage tea to give the adrenaline that they would need to help give them courage for battle and things like that. I think that's so cool. I personally find that I don't really use it. I just like to have them. I occasionally throw them in a drink or something every now and then, or throw the flowers on something. But really, I grow them primarily for the bees, who love the little blue flowers. And once they have been pollinated, they will turn a light pink color. I also have my rosemary. I have some aloe. That's milkweed, but I cut it back so that it would encourage monarchs to migrate. Some stevia. Let's see, this is echinacea that has died back, so this will be an echinacea patch when it comes back up. This is lavender, chamomile, some fennel. So it's got a pretty nice sized bulb. I probably could harvest this, but I've been contemplating whether I want to save it and let it keep growing. So for me, I found that the black swallowtail butterflies, when it gets that time of year, really, really love fennel. And it's something that I can grow and keep for the butterflies. So I may transplant it and just let it keep growing until it goes to seed so that I can have it for the butterflies. I have tried growing dill and other things, but it just doesn't last as long before going to seed as the fennel does for me. So it always brings black swallowtail butterflies, which I just really love and encourage growing plants for the pollinators. So yeah. So what do you guys think? Should I harvest it and use it, or should I save it for the butterflies? Do we think it would move gardens well? That's my other concern. I don't think it would probably move very well, so I'm wondering if I should just harvest it. I also have growing back here on this other side another little Echinacea patch, some Chinese motherwort, and then right there is a little lemon balm patch. So this little lemon balm patch is starting to come back and fill out quite nicely. I love adding lemon balm to my teas. It's got just like such a good uplifting herb and very calming, and I love that lemony smell and scent, so I really love lemon balm. You see it starting to really come back nicely back down here. Let's see, so in my second herb bed over here, I've got some trailing rosemary, which I think is really pretty. This is going to be a bachelor's button, or also called cornflower. It's going to be bright blue. I also have a lot more Johnny jump ups over here. They just kind of self-seeded and did their own thing. I have some calendula, which I'm going to go ahead and take this. Look how pretty. So the really cool thing about calendula is that calendula kind of rises and opens up with the sun and then closes at night as well. So every morning it'll start opening, and it's a little bit got like a sticky, which is sticky resin, I guess you would say, and it's so good for skin issues, skin burns, cuts. I always try to make a calendula oil to use for those purposes. It's also very good in tea. It's very anti-spasmodic, especially for women if you're having cramps or issues like that. Very, very cool flower and medicine that rises with the sun. The pollinators also love it as well, so it's good to grow for pollinators too. It's also good for companion planting with tomatoes and stuff. They also have all sorts of different colors. They have these yellow ones, they have orange. I have one right here that I'm about to show you in a second called Snow Princess. It's like a white. They have strawberry blonde, which is like a little pinky color. They have lots of great colors. So this one, let's see if I can block the sun real quick so you can see it. It's called Snow Princess. I'm gonna go ahead and take that too. I'm just gonna take these inside to dry. I have more bolting, cilantro over there, another little Echinacea patch. It's not quite as dyed back. Some chamomile. This is a big catnip patch, which is in the kind of mint family and grows very, very quickly, so be careful about your catnip. It's very calming and a very good kind of like sedative, calming nervine herb. I have some aloe and some sage, and I believe, I hope I'm not nurturing a weed here, but I believe this is St. John's wort. So yeah, that's really pretty too. And then a little oregano patch. Okay, so moving kind of out of the herb section into the actual vegetable section, I have some onions over here. These ones sprouted up because they had been left over and grew up in the fall, so they have much larger greens, which is really what you need to be doing with onions down here in the south. But I got a late start with onions, so mine are just now starting to pop up, which is really cool. I also have some bok choy, I think, some cabbages. That one is gotten eaten, ants have eaten the base, so it has kind of fallen apart. Some green cabbage. Look at this guy. Let's see if I can get in there without blocking it with my shadow. It is getting really big. I've been trying to monitor it a lot with how much rain we are getting, because if they get too much rain and grow too quickly, the cabbages, when they're this size, can go ahead and split. So it was still a little bit on the smaller size. So it is starting to get big, so I'm gonna have to really keep an eye on it if we start getting any more rain, because we've already had so much, so I really don't want it to bust and completely split my cabbage. So we have the cabbage bed, then over here we have some kohlrabi, which is starting to, let's see if I can get out of it, keep shadowing everything. Some kohlrabi, little alien looking vegetables, which I've been kind of collecting some greens on to give to the chickens this morning. I have some broccoli where I harvested broccoli and then just cut off the heads and have let the rest keep the side shoots grow out so I can have some little side shoots. So I have a couple of those. And then right here, I'm really excited about this because it is my very first Romanesco that I've ever grown. Let's see if I can get in there where you can see it. It's kind of difficult. So that is starting to head, which is so exciting, as well as some more broccoli. And then these are Brussels, which got a late start, so I really don't think I'm gonna actually get Brussels from them. But that is what they are. They just look really stunted and very small. And I just really don't think I'm actually gonna get Brussels sprouts because of how late they got planted. So in this bed, I have my Japanese red mustards. And I also, this entire section, I just recently planted some potatoes, which I am just now starting to see sprout, which is pretty cool. So they were blue Adirondack and red Norland, I believe, if I remember correctly. Potatoes that I planted in here. So my hope is that I would be able to harvest these before I move from here. So I really, really hope that plays out, where they can get big enough for me to harvest before I move. However, my realtor said that once we put the house on the market, which we're planning to do in just a couple of weeks, that to prepare myself for it to sell within 60 days, because that's how quickly things are selling right now. So that's nerve-wracking, but I don't know if I'll be able to harvest them or not. Maybe I can move them, I don't know. So over here we have a little bit more kohlrabi. This one also has gotten taken out by the ants, which is annoying me. So these aren't looking as good as the other ones, but this is all kale, some curly kale, which I need to harvest, some dino kale. It's looking a little droopy. I'm not sure if it's because of how cold it was or because the sun is actually coming out today for once. Another little calendula. How pretty is that? Go ahead and take that too. I just tuck these in everywhere because I love them. So back in this back bed, I have my carrots, which are starting to really kind of take off just recently. Let's see. You can see some carrots there. A nice little, looks like a little yellow carrot maybe, or white. Kind of hard to tell. But carrots are always so exciting and fun. I always try to dig a little around just so I can see what it's looking like because I'm so impatient. This is a straw flower, which looks like it's going to probably bloom any day now. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's exciting. This has been growing since I put this in very, very early in the fall. And it has grown so slowly and lived all winter though, this flower, this straw flower. On the back side here, I have some more onions that I recently planted and these rutabagas, which have been growing all winter as well. And then some more lemon balm. This is a little nettle patch, which I need to move to a bigger, larger patch because it's looking like it's starting to fill in, and it's definitely, I want much more nettles than that. And then this little nasturtium patch, which has also lived all winter. It had a big frost and hard freeze that, even with the frost blanket on, killed it back. I just kind of cut off the dead foliage, and then it has just bounced right back. It looks even larger than before, so that is really cool. And then some calendula right beside it. These all look like they're about to bloom. Just open up for the day. Hi, little babies. And then I have some self-sown, self-seeded Johnny Jump Ups. This is where I had my radish patch. I had planted some spinach seeds over here, but I'm not seeing any pop up. However, the onions and other little lettuce seeds that I planted have all sprouted and look good. I was waiting until they get a little bit bigger before I thin them. They're still quite small because of how cold it's been, but it's very cool to have some lettuce soon, hopefully. Lastly, over here around the garden shed, I have my garlic all starting to sprout. I actually see some Mexican sunflowers starting to sprout that were self-sown from the Mexican sunflower that's there. This I also believe is a little border dahlia that overwintered in the ground and has already popped up. And then lots more garlic. So all in all, that is currently what's growing in the winter garden. Alright, before I close out this video, I want to go in and show you what my seedlings are looking like, because they have been going for a little while now and they are looking so good, and those will be all the seedlings that I'll be planting in the new garden space. So I want to show you how those are doing really quick. Right here is what I just got out of the garden. So as a lot of you know, I've had my greens growing in my kitchen. So this is pretty much my second round of starts, and my first round is over here. It has been hardening off. I actually have some diatomaceous earth on it because I noticed some bugs, and I certainly do not want to take those to the new garden. So I have all of my zinnias, a bunch of flowers. They are getting quite big. So this was the first set that I started. And then I also had started my peppers and eggplants early. Some of the eggplant had already sprouted, but I was having issues getting some of the peppers started. I have re-sown them and I'm still not getting any germination. I wish I had a heat mat, maybe just because it's been colder than usual this year and the house isn't staying as warm when we're not here. These have not been germinating very well, but everything else seems to be doing pretty good. And then I just, a couple nights ago, I thought about recording it, but just had to buckle down and get it done. I sown some tomatoes and some basil all in the front. So these are all of my tomato starts, which are starting to sprout up, and then I'll thin them out once they get a little bit bigger. But those are looking well too, so I'm so excited for this new growing season. Oh, and I forgot down here, I have all of my melons and squashes, which are getting started as well. So thanks for hanging out with me for the last garden tour that I'll have on this property and the last winter garden tour for this year. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did, and I will see you all so very soon. Please bear with me if my video uploads are a little bit more erratic than usual and not as consistent, because there's just been a lot going on in my life as I transition and move and try to get this house ready for sale. And so it has just been a whole project, but I will try to keep you guys updated as much as I can, and I will see you all so soon. Bye, you guys.